Welcome back, everyone, to the finals of the North American Tournament Legends 3 here, hosted by DPS. Once again, I am Hurix, joined by Storm here, and as always, we're going to jump right into the match. We don't want to get away from the action at all, so we're going to go right into the map here. We're going to go, why don't you take us through real quick through the red team's builds here, the Abjured's builds. Obviously, I think at this point we all know what they're running, but why don't we go ahead and run through them just in case anybody doesn't know.
Yeah, I'll take a quick look at the Abjured. Awakey going to be playing Shoutbow with the Sword Warhorn Longbow, running with the 10463. Toker running the DP Shortbow with Vampiroons running 60206. Nos playing the Power Necro for this team. Looks like he's going to be running with the Staff Dagger Warhorn, running with Pack-Runes, running 62006. Phantom running with the Hammer, Scepter Focus running with Pack-Runes, running 01616, and finally 5-Gauge going to be playing the Selly Rifle for this team with the Holbeck Runes running 60044.
All right, and looking over at the blue team here, going to be Team Cunning here, going to be running the same thing as they ran before, as always here. Cade going to be running DP Thief here with Rune of the Vampires. I'm going to be running 60206 as his traits. Backpack up next, going to be running Shoutbow here as well with the Rune of the Soldier, and Celestial Amulet, he's going to be running 10463 as his traits. Next we do have Style going to be running DD, trait setup of 0266 with the Rune of the Pack there. Sunfish up next going to be running Mediguard here with the Hammer Scepter Focus, going to be running Rune of the Pack and the trait setup of 01616. Finally here we do have Zenda going to be running Selly Rifle here with the 6044 trait spread, and Rune of the Vampirism as his rune here going to be running Slick Shoes. Let's get this match underway. Let's get these teams readied up and into this, because I want to see this. I want to see this best of 5 get underway. I want to see potentially someone take a map off of the Abjured for the first time since WTS in March.
Yeah, I really think in a best of 5, this is the best opportunity that Cunning Stunts, has had, to take a game off of them. I'm really excited to see if they're going to be able to do that, and if they do, I think that's really going to build some confidence in their play for upcoming tournaments such as ESL. So excited to see what they're going to be able to do in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, I have to agree here, and obviously this is one of those maps where anything could happen, man. I mean, it really comes down to that opener, and obviously we saw. With this Team Cunning here, they have that aggressive 4-player opener from Stealth. They could take down anyone they really want to, especially with style baiting there. Could be very good for them if they decide to do that. I think that perhaps Abjured might have a little bit of a counterplay kind of up their sleeves, because I mean obviously they were watching that, so I think they might have something going. I think we might see a little bit of a different opener from this blue team here, but we'll have to see what happens. Looks like members of both teams, getting ready, getting hyped up about this. I hope to see something really competitive this time around.
Yeah, I really do too. Just waiting on a couple members of these teams to ready up here and get this game number 1 underway here. Looking at the best of 5 series, what map do you think Cunning Stunts have the best opportunity to take a game off of them on?
I think with any matchup, the biggest wildcard map is, at least at a competitive level, is always going to be Temple of the Silent Storm. I mean, that's really where, we say it a lot. A lot of teams don't really have as much practice, obviously, playing a lot of Forest, a lot of Legacy. I've seen a couple of teams actually scrimming in Temple a little bit recently, maybe to try to get a little bit prepared for this tournament, as well as some other tournaments that have been adopting Temple as a standard, basically. So it's going to be interesting to see that. I think that's their best bet. However, they have to make it to that map, and obviously I think
isn't that the 4th map?
I believe that is the 4th map, because we're going to be seeing Legacy in 3 at map 3 there, I do believe, and then again at map 5.
Legacy at map 3,
and then again at map 5, I do believe.
Oh, I thought you said Temple was the best map for them to take a game.
Yes, and then we would see Temple at 4th.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to take a game from them on Forest, Legacy, or Kylo to get to that Temple.
Yeah,
so
they have to make it to Temple.
They
definitely have to make it to Temple, which, that's why I said they have to get to that map first, obviously, which is the biggest thing. But once they get there, I think that's their biggest bet at making it a 2-game, maybe a 2-2 split or something like that, and going into the last Legacy match and seeing what they can do there. However, I think they do have a shot as well on the game two there. So we're going to have to see what happens. I think that for this matchup, I think that we're going to be seeing actually Abjured take this map here in Forest and moving on to the game 2, where I think we'll have a little bit of a closer matchup in that map there. Looks like.
Yeah, definitely. So ultimately, I personally think that if they want to get to that temple, they're going to have to win on either this map or Kylo. I think both of these teams, I'm not so sure they've played a whole lot on Kylo, at least in recent weeks. We haven't seen any ESL match with the Abjured go to Kylo, so I think that could be the one they could take potentially when we get there in the Best of 5. But we do have this game number 1 underway for this Best of 5 series for the Tournament of Legends number 3 grand finals between the Abjured and Cunning Stunts here. Let's take a look at the opening splits from both teams.
Hold on to your points.
It's like we're going to have crossers for both teams going through the beach here. Both of them going to be in stealth. Got 3 for the Abjured, 4 coming out for Cunning Stunts. It looks like more stealth play coming up. So 3-point play coming out for the Abjured, but Cunning Stunts going to opt for the 2-point. We're going to see Wakey be all alone at the midpoint. Let's take a look at what's going on at the Henge node.
We actually see Wells dropped on Backpack. Backpack going to be dropped here by the 3-point play here. We actually see 2 members of the blue team already pulling off this mine node going around. So in the meantime, 5Gauge was basically able to stay alive at that time, and you actually saw Wakey take the keep node as well. So that's going to be 2 points for the Abjured already from the outset here, and we're going to actually go ahead and swoop in on 5Gauge. 5Gauge is taken down here. Looks like no one's going to be able to really support that. So we do have 4 members of the Abjured ready to go to try to put some damage down at this gate here, in this gateway, in this choke point, where actually Nas does have a little bit of an advantage because he's going to be able to drop those wells, get some good staff marks in there. He's going to deter them from being able to do anything, so they're going to have to go all the way around to the beach in order to get anything going for themselves. Meanwhile, this 2-cap is going to go for the Abjured, and they're going to slip right in behind them and probably open up on Stow here, who may not be any the wiser here, and he's going to be pressured right now. He does get off his Arm of the Earth, and he's going to try to get away, but Red Team is going to go ahead and get that decap. So once again, now, Red Team doing a great job of just kind of sneaking around and getting stuff going for them. We actually see Wakey. Wakey actually potentially going to get dropped here in the ring here. We actually see Sunfish going for the stomp. Does manage. Ooh! Almost managed to get it. However, he did not get it all the way off. The cleave going down right on top of him here. As Fantaram going for the res, however, banished off by Sunfish. Sunfish going for some cleave and finishing off here along with Cinda and the rest of Team Cunning here.
Yeah, taking down Wakey there is going to be huge. We do see Toker going to be getting that decap over at the Henge node. So the 2-cap not going to last too long for Cunning Stunts. We do see the Shadow Refuge coming out from Cade. Looks like they're going to try and burst somebody down. Toker is forced off of that Henge node by Stalag, so they need to get back there and try and cap that to take the 2-cap. But a huge push coming out from the Abjured towards the midpoint. Cunning Stunts not really allowing them to get up there, but look at the pressure coming out from Nos onto Sunfish. It's a lot thrown down the wells. They're trying to back up onto this keep point as a lot of damage and a lot of pressure is coming out from the Abjured.
Yeah, looking pretty good for the Abjured right now, pushing them up the stairs right now into the keep where Sunfish has no cooldowns right now. Looks like he's going to fall off. Oh, that's not a good spot to fall off on. They're going to turn on him right now and get some cleave off, but blue team does a great job of peeling for him, getting some pressure down onto 5Gauge. Toker actually in the downstate gonna get the self-res as Cade is not able to make it there in time. That is very unfortunate for this blue team here. However, they're probably going to be able to take out 5Gauge if they can get some more damage on it. However, Cade gets opened up by members of the Abjured here, and the banner comes down, and the SR does as well. So Cade going to be safe for the time being if he can manage to stay alive in that SR, and he does indeed manage to do so. So it looks like right now with this huge skirmish happening, the team is so close right now.
Yeah, Cade trying to spike down 5Gauge. He's actually going to peace out, probably go get the decap on the mine. I'm surprised Cade isn't going for the decap on the mine. He's going to back up towards the beach. We're going to see Sunfish come off a respawn, going to get that cap at the Henge point, trying to hold on to the mid. Looks like they're going to peace out of that and just hold on to their home node. I'm very surprised Cade didn't actually go for that decap on the mine point and instead went back around the beach, possibly a misplay thought. someone was over there, unfortunately for that for that reasoning, they are going to lose mid as well. So Selecta going to be bled out here. 3 members of this Cunning Stunts team making a push towards the mine now, as 5-Gauge is in an outnumbered situation.
Yeah, and looking now at 5-Gauge here, he is going to get CC'd and pressured here. Loads of condies being dropped on him. Gets pulled over right now by Cinda here, and he's going to go ahead and get his heal off, supported by Wakey. Wakey going to try to move in along with members of the Abjured. Look at the Abjured right now swarming in. Sunfish moving around the top side of your mini-map, actually. You can see him going for that keep decap right there. It looks like Abjured trying to push down members of Risk here. Risk taking the brunt of it right now. Cyndaquil being dropped here. Backpack about to be dropped as well, as he is stuck in that ring, and he's down as well. So Sunfish probably going to be able to get that full cap with Cade, as well as Stal able to get the full cap on Hinge, which is good for them. Obviously, they're going to get that 2 cap, but obviously, it's just a matter of time before Abjured moves in and really shifts that once again. They already do have the lead. They're going to get the decap in just a moment's time, but at least for the time being, Blue Team is going to be afforded a time to regroup on that Hinge node.
I'm surprised that the Abjured really haven't taken a commanding lead yet in this game. They're going to take out Spawnier there, but I expected them to just, there was a really good fight coming out from Cunning Stunts, able to make sure they didn't get stomped right at the start of this game. Hold on to a 2 cap. Have to see what their next move is. They are regrouping here. Probably going to be stealthing up, trying to spike down a member of the Abjured. Not going to be giving up just yet, as the Abjured nearing about a 100-point lead. Have to see what the next move is coming out for Cunning Stunts, as Toker possibly not in the greatest position right now. Cade actually not going to make a move onto him. A lot of damage coming out from Fanaram. Have to see who their primary target is, as Cade is getting kind of low.
Yeah, if we look actually at Fanaram right now, Fanaram forced into his RF. He has nothing left now, though. So if Blue Team can get some more damage out on him, he's going to be trained out completely. However, it looks like he's doing a pretty good job of just kind of running around and making sure that he could peel for himself, doing a great job of staying alive for the time being. However, 2 members of this Blue Team here, Team Cunning, all over him right now, trying to finish him off. And they do manage to finish him off here, so he is downstated now. We actually see Sunfish rolling in as well. He's pretty low. Looks like this is going to be a kill for the Blue Team, which is great for them. They're going to be able to potentially turn this into a keep take if they can keep this momentum going for themselves in this team fight. Looks like ports are coming out. Stal is actually dropped right now. The res is coming out from the Blue Team here, and they do manage to get it. Wells get dropped on him, but just a little bit too late here, as Nos rolls in. Just a couple seconds too late with those utilities being dropped now. Wakey in the downstate as well. Blue Team all over him with the damage right now. Gets stomped out here. Stal at about 50%, but this is going to be a team fight victory for Team Cunning here. Looks like Stal going to go ahead and roll out, try to make sure that he can stop Toker from getting that full decap. I'm not sure if he's going to make it in time, but if we look right now at this keep fight, we actually see Blue Team cleaning up against Nos right now.
Yeah, really good play coming out from the Abjured. Probably going to be holding on to that 2 cap for quite some time. Actually, Nos is going to be taking down 5-Gauge to try and get back on the point. A lot of the Cunning Stunts resources are at the midpoint right now, but the Abjured going to be sending up Wakey and Fanaram to this midpoint. Decap is going to come out. We are going to see a 1 cap in favor of each team here, but still over 150-point lead for the Abjured. 5-Gauge, taken into the downstate here. We are going to see Stalacta make a push for the mine. 2 members of the Abjured team going to be back to defend that. So ultimately, if Cunning Stunts wants to take this game, they really need to hold the 2 cap from here on out and try and take a couple of bosses.
I think this was
but
definitely
Toker's going to go for the decap on the Hinge, and no one even remotely close to stopping.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of an oversight for having Abjured to cycle in all one at a time onto that keep node, but obviously even more of an oversight to let Toker cycle into that Hinge node and get the decap off. I mean, they really, really, really needed that 2 cap there and holding it for a long time. But maybe they can get something going with this team fight if they're able to quickly get something going and win this, take down a member very, very fast with some heavy bursts. They might be able to turn this into their favor here with Toker not being able to +1 this necessarily. However, Style isn't in this fight either, so we're going to have to see what happens. 5-Gauge does get brought down. So much cleave being dropped on him. Looks like the banner does get him up. However, Wells being dropped as well. Nas putting down the AoE pressure right now hard on Sunfish. Actually, Sunfish at about 50% health has no defensive utilities left, able to get the Necro off of that docking there, but because of it, he had to afford all of his defensive utilities, so he's not going to be looking too good. if they manage to turn on him. However, 5 gauge right now at about 10%, gets immobilized right here and actually gets dropped. 5 gauge in the downstate. Looks like Backpack going to follow. Backpack in downstate as well, but looks like no one's really near him. They get the stomp off on 5 gauge, and they get the stomp off on Backpack too. So once again, another 4v4 here. Looks very, very equal right now. Toker right now being dropped to about 10% health. Looks like he's going to get the stealth long enough to be able to stay alive here. Going to try to pull out. 2 caps still happening in favor of the red team here. Abjured just increasing their lead, even though blue team's doing a fairly decent job in these team fights. We actually see Fanaram being dropped right now. The cleave isn't there, however, so he's going to get picked back up.
Yeah, it looks like the Abjured going to get the decap as Toker onto the key point, and ultimately the Abjured, probably just going to hold on to the mine point and take this game number 1. And unfortunately for Cunning Stunts, it really felt like they had the opportunity multiple times to get back into it, but just weren't able to hold on to the 2 cap. A lot of great decaps from Toker allowed them to kind of dominate from the mid part of the game onward to the late game to where we are at right now.
Yeah, I have to say that, I think the score doesn't necessarily show how actually close this was. I mean, for the most part, Abjured did dominate as they usually do. However, this Team Cunning really did a great job in these team fights. We actually saw Little People Big World doing a great job against the, kind of out-rotating a little bit. In some instances, getting 2 caps even though they were losing the team fights. We're seeing the opposite here, where this blue team, Team Risk, is able to solidify some good team fight victories, get some staggered kills going on Abjured, which you don't see all too often against this team. Actually, you see this team doing it to other people almost all the time. But, not able to really get anything going against Toker's decaps. I mean, that's really what sealed the deal on this one, at least in my opinion. Not being able to hold that 2 cap that they had when they had that big team fight at Keep with Toker sliding over and getting that decap on Hinge. I mean, that was big for them. They needed to make sure that they solidified that and held that 2 cap for as long as they possibly could have.
Yeah, Cunning Stunts had the opportunity at the start of that game. They had a 2 cap multiple times, but ultimately the Abjured able to win a couple of fights, out-rotating. Great decaps coming out from Toker, like I previously mentioned. Not a whole lot of decaps from Cunning Stunts, which is a little bit unfortunate, as that really would have helped their cause to getting back into the game, as they had, like I said, multiple opportunities around midway into the game to, when they were only down about 100, 150 points. They could have came back, had a 2 cap, but just weren't on top of their home point, making sure no decaps came out. So unfortunately for them, the Abjured are going to take game number 1 and be up 1-0 as we move on into Kylo here for the second map.
All right, so let's go ahead and on that note, get right into the Kylo map here. We're going to go into the game cams here. Once again, same teams as before. Obviously, the Abjured versus Cunning Stunts. The Abjured up 1-0 over this team here on Battle of the Kylo now. Looks like both teams are going to go ahead and solidify their strats here as we wait for them to ready up. What do you expect from this? Do you think that perhaps this is the map that they take that could take them into Temple? I mean, I personally don't really see this team beating out the Abjured on a map like Legacy, so I think they really have to get these wildcard maps under their belt, Kylo and Temple, and then just have something huge happen on a Legacy map, either the 3 or 5. That's how I see them taking it. What do you think about this map?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think if Cunning Stunts wants to take this series, or at least win a single game, I think they have to do it here. Unfortunately, Forest was another great opportunity, but I don't see it happening on Legacy. That's such a great map for the Abjured. So if they're going to do it, I think it will be on this map. We haven't actually ever seen them in an ESL Cup, for that matter, play on Kylo against each other. So perhaps they have in scrims or in a team queue, but I'm interested to see what they're going to both bring to the table on Kylo.
Yeah, I have to agree. It looks like teams are starting to get readied up. Looks like Abjured is ready to go. Blue team just solidifying their strats here, and it looks like, do you expect to see a little bit of tread play? I think I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think teams will be mostly aggressive. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I know I've seen Toker a lot on that Treb, cycling back, even starting off on it, but I think they might stick a little bit to that aggressive playstyle, getting those stealths off in the beginning and trying to get something going in a big team fight to start the ball rolling.
We haven't seen these two teams ever play in an ESL Cup against each other on this map, or even on this map in general, so the Abjured doesn't go to game 3s in ESL, so we've never seen what their strats are on this map. So I'm really interested to see if any Treb play is going to come out from. Let's take a look at the opening splits. Looks like neither team actually going to head for the Treb, and it looks like they're going to be playing for the 3-point strat possibly, as we do have some stealth play coming out from the Abjured. Moving over to that mansion node, what do we have over here, Hurix?
We actually see red team, both teams actually going in stealth over to the clock tower, where we actually see both teams opening up on each other here. We actually see right here, Wakey right now at about 50% HP, taking so much pressure. He's going to be dropped soon, and that's their war banner. If they lose their war banner, Cade actually being taken out as well. Looks like Cade able to get back up from that, and it looks like Wakey also being brought back up as well, so he's going to be fine. However, the pressure right now is being focused back on top of him, it looks like, and it looks like blue team struggling to find a new target. Looks like they're going to be all over Wakey. The banish does come off. The damage follows through as well. The counties are all over him, so Wakey goes down once again here. But however, Cade is down also if we look. However, he's on the roof, so he's going to be safe for the time being. Wakey once again brought up from the res here, and it looks like they're going to have to get something going soon. Cade being brought back up from the south res.
Yeah, back up onto the clock tower. He's above here. He's actually full health now, getting back into this fight. 5 gauge getting pretty low at the midpoint. As Crate, if he needs it, just going to peace out from this fight. Sunfish taken down.
Sunfish taken down.
That's going to be a hard one for them to get back up.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to be getting him back up at any time. So looks like red team, Abjured taking this clock tower node. They already have the windmill, of course, here, and it looks like they're going to be looking to put some pressure down onto the far node there, onto mansion. Looks like Nas getting that decap. However, we also see Backpack getting the decap off on windmill, so red team is going to have to do something about that. In the meantime, the mansion took a while to get decapped actually, and it looks like Nas is going to move off of that, and we actually see a 1v1 perhaps about to take place onto the clock tower. However, that 2-cap is firing away for the Abjured here, looking pretty solid in a map that we've not really seen them play all too often. You know,
I don't think we've seen them ever play this map aside from WTS. So ultimately, this is a first for us in quite some time. They don't go to game number 3s in ESLs. They don't go to this map. Perhaps some people have seen, some of these players stream it, but ultimately this is new for all of us here. The Abjured holding on to the 2-cap here. Another big fight at the midpoint is brewing. Cyndaquil taking down here in a 3v1 situation, perhaps just caught off guard here, but multiple members of this Cunning Stunts team just kind of spread out around the map at this point in time.
Yeah, and Cinda being downstate with that bleed happening right now, they're going to be down 5-4. Cade accepting some punishment right now from this train of red members right now, with Nas and Toker all over him right here. They're going to put down the wells, and he's going to be forced to go on around the backside of his SR there. Going to be safe for a little bit, but he's going to have to be peeling out and wasting a little bit of time, unfortunately, for the blue team here. Looks like they're going to be regrouping towards the mansion, their home node, as Abjured still has that 2-cap advantage. 5 gauge just kind of hovering around the windmill. Looks like he's going to move forward a bit, regroup with his team. Looks like we could potentially have a little bit of a skirmish between Clock Tower and Mansion, but blue team definitely needs to make a move soon here, as they're just losing they're just bleeding points at this stage of the game.
Look at what the Abjurd's doing. They're just sitting around that clock tower node, just sitting on top of it, stealthed up, expecting a push. Looks like we're going to see Toker going for the decap on the mansion. 5 gauge just going to kind of sit around windmill expecting a push, but all 5 members of this Cunning Stunts team making a huge push into this clock tower node, trying to put a lot of damage out onto Wakey. Unfortunately for him, he's able to get out with a lot of his, using a lot of his cooldowns, but definitely staying alive.
Yeah, and that decap from Toker was huge. He cycled in and got right back into the fight. This is a 5v5 already. Definitely not so good for the blue team here. Abjured just looking so solid on this map. I mean, Wakey right now is kind of low. He's going to be dropped here, but Backpack is also, so this is going to be a rally race here. It looks like right now, however, red team is looking like it's going to win it. They actually res up Wakey here. Wakey is going to be back up. Backpack also going to, actually he's going to vengeance there, so he's not going to be up for too much longer here. Looks like Toker is in downstate, as well as Fantaram, if they can potentially get a kill in this time here. However, the banner does come down, so that is not going to be enough for them. Cinda drops as well. Backpack's vengeance runs out there, so Cinda is going to be dropped here as well. Red team Abjured with another team fight win yet again here, so very handedly taking this map. Definitely looking a lot more solid than that old forest map that we just saw these teams go up against.
Yeah, Cade trying to get a cap on the mansion node. Fanaram gonna come fight him. Waking Toker gonna plus this fight, as well as Sal. Selecta getting kind of low here. He is taken into the downstate. Cade more than likely gonna go down with him. Yes, he does. Even after he drops the SR on top of him. So we're gonna see a 3-cap coming out for the Abjured and doing what they do on most maps, taking the 3-cap here and gonna be punishing this Cunning Stunts team, just forcing them inside of their base, not allowing them to go anywhere. This is a terrible map for this to happen to this blue team on because of the positioning that the Abjured can put themselves in just to not allow them to do anything or even leave their base for that matter.
Yeah, we actually see the GGs being called here, so in just a moment's time we're going to have that / game end happening. So that's game 2 for the Abjured here, taking it. We're just waiting on confirmation for that GG. Looks like a little picnic brewing here from both teams as we wait for that GG. So it is called 339 to 86 with the 3-cap from Abjured. Abjured taking it now. It's 2-0 over Cunning Stunts going into the Game 3 matchup where it is going to be Legacy of the Foe Fire, the first Legacy of the Foe Fire, because Game 5 is also Legacy should they make it to that stage. However, as we all know, Legacy is the Abjured map. If there even is an Abjured map, that's the one. You know, I just don't see it for this team. They were looking solid on Forest. They were looking solid on Forest. I expected them to do even better on Kylo there, but they just didn't have the right things going for them. They left Toker to once again get those decaps and really take advantage of the fact that, you know, they're not really paying attention to their home node all the time. And that's the kind of thing that you have to pay attention to, or Toker's really going to take it to you. And that's where Abjured gets those huge 3-cap advantages as he can just roll in, get that decap, and come back into the fight for that 5v5.
Yeah, I didn't expect that in the last map. I expect Cunning Stunts to put out a little bit better of an opening. Even, you know, more points for that matter, not surrendering. I didn't expect the 3-cap to come out from that map for the Abjured, but credit to them for doing an excellent job and, you know, forcing the GG very early and moving on into Legacy, which is arguably their best map from what we've seen in recent weeks, recent months for that matter. Totally dominating teams. Interested to see if Cunning Stunts, is able to, you know, change that and actually take a game off of them for the first time in, you know, since WTS.
Yeah, I mean, that would be huge for them. It looks like we have all members of both teams getting ready up, so why don't we go ahead and get into the game cams. Looks like both teams are ready to go, so it's just going to be a matter of time. We're just waiting on Backpack here. So looking at the splits, I mean, or thinking about the splits rather, I think we're going to see something. I mean, Battle of Kylo would have been the one to see like a little bit of an alternate play. I think we're going to see Abjured doing the same thing. I think we're going to see yet again another mirror opening here with at least a 3-man stealth comp. I mean, that's really has been the meta for quite some time now, especially in NA. But, you know, I definitely think that that's going to be the same thing here. It looks like we're waiting on Nos as well as Backpack here. So once they're ready to go, we'll be going into it. But like I said, I really expect to see at least a 3-point stealth or a 3-person stealth play from both teams, and we will provide you with the views of both of those for you as well. But
I wouldn't be surprised to see both these teams do the exact same thing, both sending 5 members of their team straight out of their main gate, stealthing up 3, if not 4 of them, and playing far point in mid, and both avoiding their home points here. That's typically something we see from both these teams when they go at it in ESL Cup. So wouldn't be surprised to see the same happen in both, since neither will find anybody at the enemy's home node. They're going to force a huge mid fight. So expect that coming out of the gate for both these teams. But once Backpack does ready up here, we'll have to see what both teams are going to do.
Yeah, I definitely expect this round. I mean, this Risk team, you know, as soon as they start getting a little bit of loss, they kind of fall apart, unfortunately. I think we're going to be seeing probably like a 500 to 100, 500 to 200 setup. I think that the Abjured is really going to take it to him this matchup, but we're going to have to see how the openers are handled, rather. We're going to see from there, but, you know, it really is going to come down to that. I mean, the play is definitely going to come from the momentum that is gained from that opener. This blue team definitely has a very, very deadly opener waiting in stealth for, I mean, probably ever if they have to, you know. And if they can get a good kill off of that in the beginning, that's going to be huge for them to take that 4v5. But, you know, they can't let that kind of thing happen that they saw last game where 5Gauge was able to stay alive forever. They weren't able to get any points. They lost their home node with Backpack dying to the stealth play from Abjured. And they can't let that kind of thing happen. They really have to come out with this opener and be huge with it.
Yeah, and we do have this game number 3 underway. If the Abjured does take it, they will be crowned the Tournament of Legends number 3 champions. And get, you know, what is a legendary per player here. But let's take a look at the opening splits for both teams. It looks like the Abjured are going to do that strat I talked about, but Cunning Stunts are going to actually send Backpack to their home point. So a little bit different of an opening. And Backpack definitely expecting the opener. He's not even going to sit on the point. 5Gauge is going to come contested. But what do we have going on at the mid node?
You know, at Graveyard, we actually see Nas kind of hanging out on it right now as Red team goes ahead and tries to get another stealth up. Blue team all over them right now. They try to turn pressure onto Sunfish. Sunfish turning it on Magic Toker now, actually. We actually see Nas pulling off towards this waterfall fight. This waterfall fight is going to be huge for them. Looks like Red team not even really going for their home node, just wanted to go all in on this waterfall, get some momentum for themselves going, and you know, get the snowball going early against this team, because that's when they think they're going to be most effective. We actually see in this fight right now, Sunfish very, very low, and he does get taken down. However, he is in stealth. It looks like they're going to get the res off. They do get the banner. However, he's again at 10% HP. The poison takes him out with the burning there in unison, and Sunfish is completely out. Blue team forced to pull out of this fight, and Abjured, this is going to be it. This is where Abjured already has the momentum to now move into Graveyard with a 5v4, 100% HP on all of their guys. Backpack at 20%. You know, this is where they just basically turn into a lawnmower and just mow the grass that is Cunning Stunts here.
I mean, just look at the positioning of them. They just killed Backpack. Backpack going to be bled out here. Not going to be up for a little bit longer. We do see Cade making a move for the quarry node. We're going to see, it looks like Toker and Phantom making a push for that 2v1. I mean, I'm not surprised whatsoever to see this. The 2-cap coming out from the Abjured, absolutely dominating that first team fight. And this is the way they do it. Like you said, they start out strong and they don't let off the gas here at the beginning of the Legacy game. Have to see what the next move coming out for Cunning Stunts is, as this is a tough situation for them to be in.
Yeah, I absolutely have to agree here. It looks like Red team going to go ahead and swarm the base of Blue team. Blue team looking like they're going to go ahead and get a stealth engage. And as they come out, they accept all of Nas's staff marks there. No one dodged through first to go ahead and break all of those out. So they're going to take some latent pressure there and break Aegis as well. So that's very unfortunate for them. As an opener, Red team looking pretty solid. Nas with 100% life force right now. Definitely not something you want to meet against here. It looks like Cinda taking a lot of pressure right now at about 10% HP. Sun feared into the wall there as well. Looks like Wakey at about 40% HP. However, he has no heals left right now, but looks like right now we have Cinda being brought down. They're going to go for the res. The stomp comes out, though, from Nas with the Plague Stomp. Great job from him, turning this once again into a 5v4, solidifying that kill there. Looks like Backpack trying to get away right now, but Nas is all over him, as well as Toker, as well as everyone from the Abjured, and just training him down. So Backpack is dead now as well. It looks like the next choo-choo train is going to be Cade at the helm, and it looks like 5Gauge going to follow in here as other members of the Abjured do so as well.
Yeah, Cade making a push for the waterfall, but for this Cunning Stunts team, it's kind of like every man for themselves, just trying to scrounge up some points for their team, but it's really not going to work too well for them, as the Abjured almost up nearly 200-0 on this map from a dominant opening split from them. They're going to see Cunning Stunts forced back into their base as Sunfish was taken out near the gate, for this red team, and not looking too good for them. I can see one more final push, an attempt to get some points for this blue team. Otherwise, it's going to be game over. Abjured taking this 3-0.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be seeing GGs in just a moment here. We see a stealth play coming out from Toker. Yeah, Backpack just asking for some points right now, just for the sake of stream, you know. And it looks like right here we're going to be seeing blue team making a move now for Quarry. So they are going to be getting this decap, and if they can hold this node for long enough, they might be able to get some points on the board here, like Backpack asked for. And it looks like there isn't going to be any movement over there. Sunfish still getting cleaved out here, but blue team finally going to get some points from this Quarry node as Abjured regroups and gets ready for another push.
Yeah, so finally some points coming out for this blue team. They're on the gate. They're just trying to, possibly go for a Lord kill. We're going to see multiple members of this Abjured team coming over towards the quarry. And Sunfish AFK in his base right now. They're going for a Lord kill to get up to 150, not make it look so bad. This is an interesting play coming out for Cunning Stunts.
This is just the desperation we want points Lord push right here. This is, and by no means a victory push. This is by no means a we're going to win push. This is just a we don't want it to look bad when people look back and see we possibly got 500 owed Lord push. That's what it is right there.
Yeah, so 168 points for Cunning Stunts. 3 caps still in favor of the Abjured, but you see Sunfish able to take out Nos at the Lord there. He's going to be able to get that waterfall node as well. Cade and company on top of 5 gauge. 5 gauge getting pretty low at his Lord that was already taken out previously. Forced to Elixir S there, but he's going to be taken down. I don't know. Yeah, comeback is a little bit out of the question, but some more points in favor of Cunning Stunts is definitely possible at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to leave 5 gauge, so they don't want to collect the points on that one. But looks like right now we see a 1v1 happening between Fanaram and Stal here. Stal trying to keep things alive right now, but Fanaram able to secure that quarry node completely. We did see the decap on quarry here, but it looks like blue team just kind of rolling around trying to get some decaps, maybe not make it look so bad. I mean, they're definitely giving it an effort still, which is commendable. I mean, with the momentum that this Abjured team had, with the fact that a team like Abjured really holds on to something like that for quite a long time, rather. You got to commend them for that. They got some kills pumping in right now. Stal able to take out Fanaram with some help there, and it looks like blue team definitely going to be able to get at least some kills here and get some good points, but this is definitely going to be going in favor of the Abjured in just a matter of time at this stage.
Yeah, Wiki and Fanaram down at the midpoint over here, and it looks like the Abjured over on the Lord is Toker and Nos trying to take him down. The Lord is going to be taken out, and there we have it, folks. The Abjured taking game number 3 in our crown, your Tournament of Legends number 3 champions, while Cunning Stunts falls to second place.